Hey, hey, hey. Welcome to a brand new edition of The Rundown with Ramon. My name is Ramon Ray, publisher of zoneofgenius.com, and I'm glad you're here today for another edition of The Rundown with Ramon. I've started 5 companies, sold 3 companies, authored 5 books, and all I ask is just a few minutes, 30 minutes of your time to give you the top 10 tips you need to know to build your best life or build a better business. Welcome to The Rundown with Ramon. Let's get started right now with all the juicy information we have in store for you today as we begin The Rundown with Ramon. And by the way, how have you been? You doing okay? Doing pretty well? I sure hope you are, because I'm doing fantastic. And either way, DM me on Instagram. Let me know how you're doing. DM me, Ramon Ray Smart Hustle, and let me know what's going on in your world. With that, let's start right now. Listen, ding, 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 ding. Does a founder's behavior matter? I wonder about this. I was reading an article recently talking about a founder's behavior and wondering, does it matter? There's many large venture capitalist firms and others. I was reading this in the briefing, and the headline says, will investor patience for a bad founder's behavior finally wear thin? Listen, you may not be the head of a multi-billion-dollar company, but I think we have to ask ourselves, does our behavior affect our companies? And I think in many ways it does. You think about some of the leaders of modern day times or older day times that have had an impact on their companies, and they've had to leave, they've been forced out, or they stayed there, and it's impacted the company's value. It's impacted the company's profit margins. So I think that as you're investing in a company, it matters to know who the founders are or who they're not. As you're considering working for a company, who are you working for? And if you're a founder, if you're the owner of a business like I am, our reputations matter. How we act matter. We impact the lives of our team members, of our employees. That's my thinking. But what do you think here on the Rundown with Ramon? Ding, 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 ding. Up next, does your physical space matter? I don't want to start World War III here, argument, but my friend Phil Gerbashek touched on this. Talked about the art of decluttering, and we've mentioned this before in past rundowns with Ramon. But he says here, physical decluttering is a gateway to mental clarity. Maybe it doesn't matter to you how your office looks or how your office is, but I would dare say that for most of us, having a clean office, having a symmetric work environment might be directly tied to how we think, how we work. It's so important to consider our space around us. I believe studies say, I know that around my office, I like it neat. Digital decluttering, the modern necessity. Think about it. How many emails do you have in your inbox? How many emails do you have in your Google Drive or Dropbox or Zoho Drive? How many files do you have that you haven't looked at in the last 27 years or 17 years or in 7 days? It just piles up and piles up and piles up. It can be expensive, by the way. So when you want to think at decluttering, it's something I think we can do, and we can do better, as Phil Gerbashek talks about. You definitely want to see his email newsletter. He says mindfulness and meditation, mindfulness practices and meditation have gained immense popularity as effective stress relief techniques. Interesting. Talks about physical activity. Exercise is not just beneficial for physical health, it's also a powerful tool for mental well being. This is when we talk about decluttering, it's not just the things that we have on our desk and all around us, it's also the decluttering of the body, moving our body. Phil Gerbashek talks about happiness in simplicity. One of my favorite words he mentions here is minimalism. Now, I don't know about you. You may be a hoarder. Maybe you're not a hoarder, but I do like the aspect of minimalist. If you look at my desk right here, you can't see it, but I have very few things on it. I hope if you look at the studio, the office around me, there's some neatness to it. For me, I happen to like things symmetric. For me, I happen to like things neat. I don't know if that's for you, but I'd be curious. DM me on Instagram and let me know. Are you more of the clutter type person, or are you more of the decluttering type person? Let me know. But I want you to think about it. Sometimes the space around us can reflect and can make an impact on how we work. I think it's worth considering. Do you need to neaten up a bit more? And you know what? You can hire somebody to help organize your office, to help declutter your things, to help put things in order. Again, my name is Ramon Ray, and this is The Rundown with Ramon. Ding, 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 ding. MBA, is an MBA important for a business owner? I don't know. I don't have a hard line on this. I know one of my friends, Ashish George, founder of Bits Consulting, Bits Technologies, I think it is. He has an MBA, and many others have gotten their MBA, and they've told me the networking they got from the MBA, the network of people there, has been helpful. And they said it wasn't that it didn't help them because they did learn something. But I guess I'm wondering, do you? Here's the question I want to ask you. If you don't have an MBA, do you think it'll harm your chances of having a successful business? I don't know. If you do have an MBA, is it worth it having it, the expense it takes, the 2 years it takes to get it, to dramatically increase your business? I don't know. But I can say this: education is important. Learning is important. Networking important. If you need an MBA, Master's in Business Administration, I don't know. And I think that could be very individual. Your experiences, your past is not going to be the same as mine. My experiences, my past is not going to be the same as yours. But I do know this is The Rundown with Ramon. And that's a question we can all answer. MBA or not MBA? That is the question. But I do say, whether you get an MBA or whether you don't, educating yourself is important. You don't want to have your head in the sand and not learn. Whether you're learning online, they call it YouTube University, or whether you're learning in books, whether you're learning on podcasts, whether you're learning in a variety of ways. You're learning right now watching this show, The Rundown with Ramon. So there's many, many different ways that you can learn and add value. So whether an MBA is for you in particular, I don't know. Maybe an MBA is for you. But I think it's not something you have to have as a must. I think more important, what you have to do, is my friend Marie Forleo, she's not my friend, but as my distant mentor says, her book, Everything is Figure Outable. And if you know Maria, you got this book, let me know, take a screenshot, let her know you're seeing it. But the key is, this is what the most thing entrepreneurs need to be able to figure out stuff. That's a successful business owner, to be able to figure things out. Because when you can figure things out, as Marie says in her book, Everything is Figure Outable, then yes, MBAs are still important. But if I had to choose between, do I want an MBA or do I want the aspect of thinking that everything is figure outable? Well, I'll take everything is figure outable any day. But MBAs definitely can't hurt to get. And I'd be curious, do you have an MBA? What school did you get it from? How much did it cost? Are you glad you got your MBA? Me, I only have a bachelor's, And I think it served me well for what I'm trying to do. But for some of you, an MBA could be useful. Again, this is The Rundown with Ramon. My name is Ramon Ray, started 5 companies, sold 3 companies, authored 5 books, here to help you live your best life or start or grow your business. Ding, 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 ding. Don't ignore mobile marketing, says our friends at Small Biz Trends. Writing an article here where they're talking about the power of mobile marketing solutions for business. And there's many different reasons to not ignore mobile marketing. One reason is, remember that a lot of the content people are reading is on a smaller smartphone. So if you're writing your content only for a larger screen, for a larger website, you're missing out on quite a bit of traffic. You're missing out on a better user experience for your end users. So it's important that you understand who you're writing for and what they're on. Many people are not on a full desktop computer. Some people are on a tablet. Some people are on a notebook computer. And many of us are on a smartphone. So when you're thinking of that, you want to make sure your content, your writing, your sizing is for a mobile devices, because they are definitely on the rise, increasing. One thing here, as I read from our friends at Small Biz Trends, they're saying that the strategy component for mobile is responsive design, ensuring your website is mobile friendly. Number 2, what about the power of SMS marketing? That could be part of a mobile marketing strategy. What about mobile apps? Should you possibly have your own mobile app? What about location-based advertising? If we're in a mobile world, are you targeting people based on where they're at? What about the power of mobile SEO, says our friends at smallbiztrends.com. Social media for mobile, tailoring content for mobile users on social platforms. Another thing they're talking about here is mobile first content, writing content that's designed from the ground up for a mobile experience. The power of video marketing. Video is so important, so important. And as you're doing your video, you want to make sure your video is optimized for a smartphone. Mobile analytics is important. And last but not least, something I want us all to consider is what's the user experience like. Never ever forget about the experience of your customer, the experience of the end user. What are they feeling? What is it like for them? What's that experience? Maya Angelou said, people may not remember what you said, but they'll always remember how you made them feel. My name is Ramon Ray. This is the Rundown with Ramon as we move on to our next point. Ding, 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 ding. Point number 5 of the Rundown with Ramon. Test first on social media. I thought this was very interesting. That this website, Tech Radar, I'm looking at, article by Paul Gubai, talks about launching on social is the starting line, not the finish line for new businesses. As you're thinking of starting a new business, as you're thinking of growing the one you have, social media can be a platform where you can test the viability, where you can test the marketability of many of the things you're doing and not have to do a full-blown website, full-blown marketing campaign, TV ad, radio ad, what have you. You can start and just test it on social media by just a tweet, just an Instagram post, just a LinkedIn post, Pinterest, Facebook post, whatever you like. But you may want to start on social media since the article says social media is a low risk entry point into starting a new business, enabling even the most novice business owners and creators to explore their passions and test ideas without committing significant financial resources up front. I'm a firm believer in the power of social media. I'm on social media all the time. I do a daily story and more. It's a very low cost way to build an audience, to build trust. And then if you have more, then you can sell people something. Now, the article talks about where social media stalls out. Social medias are essential tools at the top of the business funnel generating awareness. Yes, but it can't stop there. While this initial boost is certainly beneficial, it's extremely hard to reach the scale where you can run a viable business just based on platform revenue. So listen, social media is powerful. And I think that this article is representing our friends at smallbiztrends.com that you can build a pretty viable presence and not have to build a full-scale website, not have to build a full-scale CRM and backend. You can test things. This is what I don't want you to forget about. The power of minimal viable product, the power of testing something, the power of just saying, will anyone buy it? Is my hypothesis, is my idea even right? That's what I want you to consider doing as you begin new things. We're entrepreneurs, we're rabble rousers. We're always going to have an idea. And I want to make sure that you build your idea on the best foundation that you can. Ding, 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 ding. Authenticate your email or it'll get blocked. This is for sure. Yeah, I know blocked has BLOCKED, or it will be blocked. My friends here writing about this and giving a really good article at bpro.events. This is bpro.events is really good. Paul Sokol, Sokol, referred this to me. And here's what's happening. Yahoo, Gmail, Hotmail, and other platforms like that will block email marketing campaigns if your email is not authenticated. There's some fancy terms called SPF, DKIM, DMARC. Bottom line, when you go to your domain name settings, you can add authentication so that when your email goes through to Gmail or Outlook or etc., they look up and see the person sending this from this domain name. Is this a real person or is it spam? Because oftentimes people will send email Fred at, jennycraig.com. It looks like it's from there, but it's really Fred at spammer.com, and they don't want that. So I beg you, look up email authentication and make sure that your emails are authenticated by your internet service provider at the domain name level. SPF, DKIM, DMARC. I'm not going to go into the detail of what those things mean right now, but I encourage you. Email authentication is a real thing. Let me see if I can find out what the timing on this soon. And it could be by the time you watch this past. But I encourage you, the big email providers, they're not going to be delivering your email if your emails are not configured properly. It's a serious thing. Don't put your head in the sand. Don't ignore this. Ding, 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 ding. Number 7, customer service is a choice, says my friend Seth Godin. Customer service is a choice. 800 numbers changed the way large brands dealt with the public. Now, before, you used to call a number and get an issue solved instantly and free. A consumer could contact a company about a product or service. They would work to make it right. However, in modern day times, customer service, I wonder, has been something in the past. Some brands made it a part of their marketing strategy, while others saw it as a bottomless expense and did as little as they could. Seth Godin calling out Google. The successful companies in the no support group spent the money they saved on user experience, working hard to make it so you'd never need to call them. So both, Seth Godin is saying, are defensible choices. He says here, building a new car company is difficult and expensive. Rivian has adopted the strategy of being the most honest, diligent, and responsible car company in history. They answer the phone in one ring. A helpful person actually helps, and they work overtime to make things right. Zoho has this kind of policy as well. So there's many things that you can do to have great customer support and a great experience. The key here, are you willing to do it? Seth Godin shouts out another company called PS Audio. Delightfully, great companies like PS Audio are following their lead. So my question to you is customer service, is the customer experience, is it important to you or not? I dare say in today's modern day times, where competition is fierce and where differentiation is dominant, every way you can separate yourself from the competition and show that you're better is important. Customer experience is a part of that. And Seth Godin calls it out and says, it's a choice. And it definitely is a choice. How we choose to serve our customers or how we choose not to do it is absolutely important day by day by day. That customer experience is everything. And I want you to consider that as you go along, as you grow your business. How are you delivering great customer service to your customers? What do you think about that? Again, my name is Ramon Ray. This is The Rundown with Ramon. I hope you're having a good time. I hope you're enjoying it. I hope you're learning something today. All we ask is about 30 minutes, give or take of your time, to give you the top 10 tips you need to know to build your best life or grow your business. That was about customer service. Next up, tip number 8 is ding, 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 the perfect weekend. What's the perfect weekend? Wall Street Journal wrote what the perfect weekend could look like, and me pulling out a few snips here. One is the power of sleep. One way to have the perfect weekend is make sure you get enough rest, get enough sleep. Second of all, hobbies. Do something you enjoy. I'd be curious, what's your hobby? I don't know if I really have a hobby. I like to read books, like to watch a good movie. What's your hobbies? DM me your hobby on Instagram, Ramon Ray Smart Hustle. DM me, let me know what hobbies you like. Unplanned time. Maybe you don't have anything on the schedule and you decide today we're going to do whatever we want to do and do it serendipitously. Unplanned time. I love that. Socializing. When you're out, do you take time to socialize, to get to know one another, your family members, and maybe get to know people who are in your nearby area also enjoying their weekend? Work and chores. Pick a couple of small, achievable projects to see through to the finish line rather than trying to take on 5 things at once. What about physical activities? This is important. There's good news for people who like to cram most of their exercise into the weekend. So there's ways to be fit, and you may not have to do it as the federal guidelines say of at least 100 minutes of moderate intensity aerobic exercise weekly. My point is, health is a choice, people. Health is a choice. A friend of mine passed away a few days ago, all of a sudden of a heart attack. I don't want to bring down the conversation, but health is a choice. Spend time with your family. Spend time with your loved ones. Spend time making a difference in this world and making it a better place. What do you think? Let's try that. Ding, 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 ding. Servant leaders build trust. You may have heard this term quite a bit, this aspect of servant leaders, and it is a real thing. This article in Entrepreneur by Matt Rowe says, servant leadership is where the leader views themselves as somebody who serves and builds up the employees they are over. A servant leader attempts to find ways to give employees tools to solve problems and does their best to help employees grow and learn. We're all leaders probably in one way or another, but how we choose to lead makes all the difference. A recent study by UKG found that managers and leaders have as much impact on people's mental health as their spouses. The power of servant leadership. One excellent approach to achieve this is through servant leadership, in which managers prioritize their key role as serving employees. I tell my team members this very thing, and I think you should learn from this as well. I tell my team members, my job is to support you. Your job is to support the customers. And if we're supporting the customers, they then will return that to us by paying us to serve them and solve their problems. That's the circle. I learned that from Clayton Mask. He talked about that. He's the founder of Keep, Keap. And he talked about that, which is CRM marketing software. My job, he told us, is to support you all, the employees. Make your jobs here fantastic. You employees go support our customers. And our customers, they will pay us because we've earned the right to receive that money from them. And that's how we'll build a great company. Leadership is absolutely, absolutely important. Sometimes it's lacking, and I wish we had better leaders. But each one of us can be a better leader every single day to those around us, to the people we serve, to our families. What do you think about that? Is servant leadership a thing? Is it not a thing? Is it important to you? Not important to you? Let me know what you think about the power of servant leadership. Just DM me on Instagram, Ramon Ray, Smart Hustle. Ding, 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 ding. Last point here, how to maximize e-commerce sales. This was interesting, says our friends at Tech Radar. And e-commerce sales are always happening, whether it's the holidays or not holidays. And one is feature holiday products. Number two, showcase other items that might be of interest. And this is a powerful one. Amazon does this very well. People like this bought things like that. That's like a rap. People like this bought things like that. People like this bought. Okay, let me stop. But the point is, that's what you can do in your e-commerce. Somebody who bought this book from Marie Forleo, right? What's the title again? Everything is Figure Outable. Maybe they don't want to buy my book, Celebrity CEO, right? About the power of personal branding. So my point is, as you're showing one item on your store, show something that's related or what somebody else may want to buy. You'll find your sales will increase. What else the article talk about here? Announce sales and discounts on multiple platforms. One, announce them that there's going to be a sale and a discount. And then two, use multiple platforms to draw people in and let people know. Prep for support. Are you ready to support the customers? What about barriers to purchase? Are you making it too difficult to purchase things from you? And test. This is so important. Listen, everybody, my name is Ramon Ray, and this has been the Rundown with Ramon. I hope you've learned something today. Give it a few quick tips to help you live your best life or grow your business. I hope you've learned. I hope it's made an impact in your day and what you're doing. And I want you to remember something here. If you don't remember anything else, one, if you like this content, you can always go to zoneofgenius.com, zoneofgenius.com, and check it out. But here's what I want to bring to your attention. Be clear on what you really, really want in life and in business. Be clear on it. Number two, as I always say, and it's so important, ask yourself, do you even want to be in business? Business is a privilege. Business is a choice, or maybe having our own business is a right. We can debate that. But you should ask yourself, do you want to be in business? Is business ownership, is entrepreneurship for you? There is nothing wrong with working for one of many great companies in the world and being an employee there, an entrepreneur there, and helping them build their company. There's nothing wrong with that at all. So ask yourself, do you want to even be in business? This is not Shark Tank. There's no music, there's no soundtrack, there's no commercial break. This is life. Sometimes you have to wake up and cheer yourself. Sometimes that's what you have to do. But you got to keep moving. You got to keep going forward because we need you. We need you to win. As the Nodo God have said, who loses if you don't win? Another thing to ask yourself, are you hungry enough? Do you have a fire in your belly that you must win, that you must succeed? Are you hungry enough to go get what's yours? Or are you going to let little insignificant things possibly get in your way and stop you? Ask yourself, what is your pricing like? Are you selling at a premium? Or are you trying to be the cheapest vendor on the block, which is no bueno, which is not cool? Then finally, I want you to ask yourself this. What do you do best? What do you do best that causes a smile on your face, that fills you with happiness, that you can get paid for, and that has a need in the market? Listen, everybody, my name is Ramon Ray, and this has been The Rundown with Ramon. Thank you for listening. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. Let me know I can help you. I can serve you, and I will see you next time on The Rundown with Ramon. Thank you.